This steamed rice gets its flavour from the marinated chicken with really traditional fermented black beans. It just sips into the rice. It's a steamed chicken and Chinese sausage, salted egg rice. Now in Hong Kong, one of the many beauties of Hong Kong is that no matter where you walk, there's food all around you. And even with things that could be considered fast food because you order it and it just comes to you, will quite often be freshly cooked, steaming away, just waiting for you to pick up and go. And this is one of those dishes. Weirdly, it's a bowl of steamed rice, which you can get on the street sides of Hong Kong. And you get different toppings. This is one of my favourites. I'm going to marinate these chicken wings, which I'll cut up in a second, with a simple marinade. So I'm just going to chop some garlic for that. I've got these fermented black beans, these Chinese black beans, which is essentially a salted soybean, not like the Mexican black beans. You can either crush them like so and roughly chop, or you can mash them up with the base of a spoon if you wish to. And this is real home style cooking, using simple dried ingredients to add a lot of flavour to your dishes. Those black beans have been soaking in hot water for about 10 minutes, and that just gets rid of any excess salt, but also just gives them a little wash and a little clean. Some light soy sauce, dark soy sauce, which you wouldn't usually add to a marinade, but I want the chicken wings to get a nice bit of colour around because it's going to be a steamed dish, otherwise they'll look a bit raw. Sesame oil, pinch of sugar, salt, and white pepper. And that's ready for my chicken wings, which I'm going to cut up a little bit. I've got this here, which is a Chinese dried sausage, kind of like a sort of thinner, sweet version of salami or chorizo. Quite fatty. It's a real classic ingredient. You can buy this at the Asian supermarkets. Now I've got my bowls of rice here where got about half a cup of rice per bowl, and I've washed the rice at least 3 times till you've got more clear water. You don't want to overfill your bowls of rice with too much water to cook through. I kind of measure it how I was taught, where it's halfway up the first line of my index finger on top of the top layer of rice. Roughly 1-to-1 water to rice. And as soon as you've cut your sausage, you can just sort of lay your slices into the bowls of rice. And this is how they can serve you so quickly, because actually this is the slow part of the cooking process is all done, and it's just there steaming away, just allowing the rice to just keep fluffing up until you order it. The chicken wings, I'm going to slice and divvy out, and then just go straight through, roughly in half, like so. Kind of weird, but this is the way we like to cook this dish in individual portions. Of course, if you wanted to just keep your chicken wings whole, you could too. Now the last thing I have to add to the marinade is just a bit of cornstarch. Give that a good mix through, and that's just to help that sauce wrap around the wings. With that dark soy, it will look quite dark, the wings or the marinade, but it will all sort of sip into the rice as it's steaming away. And so you just lay this marinated chicken into each dish, like so. And the reason why I say maximum sort of 1-to-1 water to rice on this dish is because you've got moisture in the chicken, and that will add to these bowls of rice, and you don't want your rice to come out or too sticky. Now, the last thing I've got to pop into the steamer are my salted eggs. Now, these are salted duck eggs. Salted duck eggs you can buy in an Asian supermarket. If you want to make them at home, you basically fill a jar up with water and lots of sea salt. And that salt will eventually get these eggs floating in the water. When they're kind of suspended in the water and floating in the middle of the jar, that's when you've got enough salt in the water. Leave it in a cool, dark place for about 30 days and you get salted duck eggs. Easier to buy them. They're going to go straight in whole into the steam basket. Cover that carefully and then straight over the top and let it steam. Steam them for about 30 minutes to make sure that chicken cooks through and the rice fluffs up nicely. Look at that. I mean, the rice is literally bursting out of the seams of all of these bowls. And you can just keep it on a slow, low heat rolling boil to keep warm until you're ready to eat. Or you could cook this and then just reheat it to steam. For a whole bowl of rice like that, to reheat, you probably need at least 10 minutes. Now these salted duck eggs only really take about 10 minutes to steam, but it's okay to keep them in like that. Now what we usually do with the salted egg is just take out a bit of that egg white and yolk to taste it together. The thing about Hong Kong or Cantonese cuisine is, even with strong flavours like the black bean, the technique in which it's cooked, this steaming over the rice, where the marinade kind of sips into the rice, kind of mellows the whole dish out. It's actually not really that strong, but it's very flavourful. That's good.